Right, so back in the garage. On the last video, that I gave you a quick walk around on the bike, and I found some of the things that I had a bit of an issue with, and they've all been rectified. Unfortunately, the film that I did of doing it, the SD card corrupted, and I've lost all the footage. So essentially, she's had a good brake service. She's been checked thoroughly over now. She's had an oil change, oil filter change, air filter change, and everything's been doubly checked. Brakes back and front, everything pucker now. I have had a little tiny ride on it, but that's as far as I've got. Now, the SD card going wrong was the first thing. They say bad things come in threes. Second thing was, I decided to change the cans and put the Delcovic cans back on there. Those that know me and follow me the channel, they'll know that I'm a big Delcovic fan. And I couldn't find the bands to go around the straps, so I thought, not a problem. They're 9 years old, 10 years old, something like that now, and the rubbers had started to split, so I ordered 2 new ones. Unfortunately, only one came, so I've now got to wait till Wednesday, so I can't put them on yet. The cans that are on there are tri-oval, so the straps for those won't fit. So that was the second thing to go wrong. I'm going to have a go at doing the handlebar conversion now. So this could be the third thing to go wrong, but hey ho. Well, actually, in a way, kind of it has gone wrong, because it's turned up and all the instructions are in German. I can order a Big Mac in German, but that's about it. Can't read it. So it'll be kind of suck it and see as we go. It appears to be just common sense, but it's always good when you can read the instructions, because they normally give you a tip to get around the difficult parts. They could pose a potential problem for me, but should be interesting finding a way around them. Right, so all I've done so far is I've taken off the top inner fairing, so I've got a little bit more access, and I'm going to take off all the switch gear on the left hand side, and then I'll take the clip on off that side, and then I'll do the other one. It's stupid o'clock in the morning at the moment. I think it's about 1:30, something like that, so I've got to be fairly quiet. I may even only get half of it done tonight, come back out tomorrow. But I'll show you the kit we've got. So in the kit we have this gorgeous piece of billet aluminium. Now, if the light catches that right, you'll see that we've got ZZR engraved into that, and it's a really nicely made piece of kit. It's none of your cheap rubbish. It's German, so it should be well engineered. We have a bag of all the odds and sods to put everything on, including the extended brake line. It looks like my brake line has already been changed, and it looks long enough. I might not have to change that, which will be a bonus. Although there is a little bit of rerouting to do by the looks of things. Possibly throttle cables, possibly clutch hose, and these are the black handlebars that came with it. So being it's a nice black bike, I decided to go with the black anodised billet and the black anodised bars, keeping into the tone. So you can see literally all I've done is I've just taken off this inner panel, and that will give me a bit more access to get down into here. If I do have to reroute the clutch pipe, this clutch hose here, take off these 2 bolts and take off the clamp, and if I really have to go mad with it, I don't think there's much in the way of free play. I might have to undo the banjo from underneath and thread it this side of the top of the fork. At the moment it goes round the fork, and possibly the same with throttle cables on this side. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, bear with me. Just down there you can see there is a black braided hose, which is that's the front brake hose, which has already been changed, and it looks to have plenty of spare on it, so fingers crossed I might not have to do anything with that, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so here we go, and I told a lie, I've actually taken off the bar end weight, I forgot that bit. So the next thing to do will be try and get the grip off without cutting it. If I have to cut it and buy new ones, then so be it. If I can save it, I will do. It's fairly good under there. Doesn't feel like there's much in the way of glue. Give it a quick squirt of some silicone up there just to free it up. Obviously that'll all need to be cleaned off before we put it back on. This end, as you can see, is nice and free, and I just can't quite get it up to the far end. A tad more. There we go. Easy as that. Now it's all saved, ready for the next one. Hopefully that'll fit straight onto the new bars. Now I know that underneath this switch there's a hole drilled in the clip-on, which I shall need to replicate on the handlebars most probably. I haven't double checked to see if it's there yet. So, a couple of screwdrivers are in there. So there's a screw there and a screw there. Take those off and that clip will come off. 2 Allen bolts there. That will be the clutch assembly off. I think I will have to do the reservoir button as well off of there, and then that clip on can come off. I am using JIS screwdrivers as well, by the way. For those of you that do not know, JIS is Japanese industry standard, and they look pretty much like a Phillips. They've got a slightly different shape to it. You can use a Phillips on these. Needs some bloody light, I know that. There we go. Did start, didn't feel it. So I've got a... There we go, so there's a Phillips, sorry I'm telling lies, there's a Posi, which is obviously very, very similar to a Phillips, and there's your Japanese industry standard, and they're not identical. I know this one's bigger than this one, but I haven't got a larger also. There's a larger one there, so same sort of size, but they're just very, very slightly different. And it's just enough. You'll probably get most of the screws undone with a Posi, but the real bastard ones that are tight, that will start stripping. I know you're in there. There we go. Where it all falls apart and I lose bits. I'm not sure, long time since I took one of these apart, whether there's enough room to get the pin out or to get it out. Come on, you bugger. Got the wires there for the clutch switch. Just can't get my finger in there to release it. So I just can't get my big grubby paws in there. So what I shall do, if I loosen, bloody hell, someone has gone absolutely animal on them, unless they've Loctited them. No, they're not Loctited. If I loosen these off, I can spin it around a bit, get a better view of the switch. I think they just pull straight off. Can have a damn good look though before I proceed to pull it off and fuck it up. So I've got the terminals off of the switch. They do just push on. There they are. They were just a little bit tight. And rather than force them or break them, always best to investigate. So that's that one there. Next thing to do is remove the bracket and remove the button from the bracket. God, don't you just love it when they squeak? I think so everything is clear. Now obviously there's not enough length to be able to pull these off at the moment. So my next trick now is to take the clip on off, and then I can slide them out and just leave them on the side temporarily. I think that's a nice big chunky 6 if I remember rightly. I'm very surprised if these aren't Loctited in. They don't feel like they are. Just got a little bit tight for the around here. Well, this one feels like it might be. Isn't that weird? Normally find they both are or they're both not. Feels definitely like it's Loctited. There we go. Might just be a bit of corrosion. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of corrosion in there. So we'll clean those threads up before they go back in. And we'll check with the manual and see if they should be Loctited. Obviously if you're going to do this, this isn't really a how-to video because I'm no professional by any means, but I'm willing to have a go. And if my video will help somebody, even if it just gives them a little bit of guidance, or something as simple as getting the bloody terminals off of the clutch switch, then I'm happy because I've helped somebody. So now, that's you off. And that's you. I'm just going to try and feed that, there we go, feed that inside so that it doesn't rub on the paint, or on the fairing. I'm not too worried about that. If it shouldn't get any air in there if it stays up the right way, but if we do, then we'll bleed it. That's not an issue. So that's looking quite good. Now what we need to do is start removing the stuff on the other side. And we can get our bit of billet. Now I was talking to one of the guys on the ZZR forum that's done this conversion, and he said that normally once it's on, obviously I can't get it on because that saves everything. Just want to go check that. That is such a good fit. I mean, it goes on there easily, but if you're not dead square, then it won't. I mean, the slightest little bit, and it doesn't want to move. That's installed a huge amount of confidence, because with the way that these things take off when you open the throttle and you pull on the bars, the last thing you want is the fucking ends to come off in your hand. So that's always good. Obviously, actually, we get new bolts with this as well, so I won't have to clean that, but I will clean up the threads in the top. Oh, I forgot to turn the camera back on. I thought I'd done it, but maybe the on-off button's playing up. All I've done over the other side at the moment is just taken off the bar anyway. Next thing is loosen the screws. Might end up having to move you in a minute. Just got totally the wrong leverage here. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know whether that was turning or... Yes, it was. Getting a bit worried now. I'm going to start fucking drilling out this time around. Perfect. Then what I can do, obviously, is I can take these out and take the bracket, this side of the bracket off, take the screws out, and it'll fall away. Which I might even do yet. Reservoir. Keep the iron key on. Here we are. Titchy there. Yeah, it's 4 years since I was ZZR, and I can't remember half the places I used to hang the work like when I was working on the front like this. Strange, you get used to whichever bike you're working on at the time, unless you're working in the industry, and then you're trying to get used to all kinds of bikes. That's you. So you done. Okay, so where did I put the bloody screwdriver? Clear the dick. Can't see it for looking. What it is. It's what comes of when you're working at I'm not sure whether that's the screw, but I think that's the screw breaking it actually. Yeah. So the other screwdriver that I'm using at the moment is another JIS, but this is an impact one, and I just don't want to start banging around. That's ridiculously tight. No, that's going to have to be it for tonight. If I put the impact driver into that, give it a couple of taps, it should come undone. But there's always the risk that tapping it will set the alarm off, and I can't remember how to put it into maintenance mode. Yeah, so we'll call that it for tonight. I'll come back in the morning when it doesn't matter if I make a noise, and we'll get that bugger out, and then it's this clip on off, and then the bracket will go in, and then we can start to reassemble it. It's looking like I will have to move the clutch hose on this side and reroute the throttle cable on the other side. I did hear that when you take it, when you put it back on the new bars, that you can actually thread it so that this part is underneath, and that gives you enough. So we'll give that a try as well. That's the end of it. Well, it'd be in a bit for you, but in the morning for me. So that screw's now loose. Ended up having to use an easy out on it. It just would not come. WD-40'd it and everything. And no, it didn't want to know. Anyway, it's loose now. Some people might have done it a different way. I've done it my way. Time to take that clip on off. Then I will get it though. Come on, you bastard, get in. So I think these are corroded as well. It's not bad, but it's just enough for it to bite all the way. It's not enough for you to be able to get your fingers on it and just undo it. Be a bit too tight for that. I didn't think it was in. I had somebody ask me not very long back about what tools I use and what I buy. Well, I always try and get, and it sounds stupid because I'm a tight-fisted bastard, but with tools I believe you only ever get what you pay for. So I generally get the most expensive I can. And that might not be the most expensive on the market, it's just what I can afford at the time. So if I've got a bit extra, I might get Snap-on. If I'm not quite so flush, then maybe I'll go for a Stanley or something like that. I never buy the cheap shitty tools though, it's just not worth it. The second you start doing that, they're bending, going out of shape and fucking the work up. Yeah, quite well corroded. Not unless it's a white form of Loctite from Japan, which it could be. So that's everything out of the way, and the new one just slips straight over the top. Apparently it might need a little tap. So if it doesn't go on dead square, it's just going to get stuck. Need the rubber tapping stick, I think. They weren't joking when they said it needs a little tap. I mean, I am being really delicate. I would assume that would need to be flush. think that'd be it.